understand that you're doing multiple presentations at the conference this year, so we're going to dive into just a few of them. Can you give me a rundown about maybe the morning dream group that you're going to be running?
Sure. I mean, I really like doing interactive presentations anyway, but beginning some years ago, Kelly Bulkeley invited me to co-host a morning dream group for first timers with him. And so I learned from that. And then when I started to do it, I began to co-host it with my friend, Lauren Goodman. And Lauren and I both began running dream groups as part of our teaching. We both did interdisciplinary classes on dreams. So really, for about 40 years, I've been running dream groups in which we share dreams, but we do it within a very boundaried way, a non-intrusive method. And I find that that's a really good one to use for first timers. So what happens in the first timers dream group is really, I think, three things. Lauren and I introduce the topic of dreaming for people who are coming to the conference but haven't had a lot of previous experience with keeping track of their dreams. We also help people, find methods for catching dreams and for writing them and for thinking them over if you haven't done that before. But secondly, we get a certain number of psychologists and very experienced dream group people who are just coming to IASD for the first time. So we introduce the organization in these morning dream groups, and we try to hook them up with the people who can be of the most use to them. And third, the morning dream group is a place where first timers can, in addition to finding out more about resources, can give us some feedback on the conference as it's ongoing. We will give that feedback to the conference committee while the conference is going on, and then we'll also write up a report at the end of the sessions. So that's really kind of enough to do for 4 mornings. The word that I'm getting from the people who have attended the first timers dream group is that they really enjoy the dream sharing.
That's great. Yeah, that's a great resource for people that are new, coming for the first time and trying to get involved and, learn more about everybody. So that's amazing. I'm looking forward to that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Last year was my first year at the IASD conference and it was life-changing. So I'm sure all of the first timers will feel just as welcome.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing to be in a dream group in the morning. It doesn't have to be the first timers dream group. There are dream groups that are focused on making art, on storytelling, on poetry, and on different methods of dream sharing. So you're not obliged to come to the first timers dream group if this is your first time. However, you do get an opportunity in that first timers dream group that I'd say you don't get elsewhere.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's good to know. So I also understand that you're doing a couple other things too. Is there something that you're excited to share in regards to your other presentations?
Well, I think it's a great time for us because it's the 100th anniversary of the Surrealist Manifesto in 1924. And Mark Blagrove and Julia Lockhart, who are cooperating scientist and artist. So they really do a great job of bringing the two parts of ways of looking at dreams together. In fact, their book is called The Science and Art of Dreaming. So they put together the panel on surrealism, celebrating the oniric cinema that comes out of surrealism for the last 100 years. And they asked me to do a section on surrealist film because, frankly, that's what I've been working on for a very long time. And there's a couple of things I'd like to do in that session. One, which is always pretty popular, I'd just like to show some clips of amazing movies. So there will be films that are associated with the surrealist movement, but also clips from films, and I'm talking about like 1-minute clips. 1-minute clips from films that exemplify some of the aims of surrealism, but have come, even commercial cinema long after the surrealist movement began. And we'll kind of zip them together with some comments on the nature of surrealism and how its intention was not just to make artworks that looked like dreaming or reminded people of dreams. It was actually to elevate the idea of dream consciousness in modern society. It was obviously inspired by Freud because it came along at the time when Freud was the main dream theory, but it did not at all hew closely to Freud. You could say it turned Freud on its head, where Freud's idea was psychoanalysis will help you adjust to society. Surrealism's idea was understanding symbolism and making use of it, accepting the irrational in the human psyche. This will let you change the society.
Yes, that's very fascinating. I'm really excited for that. I'll be checking out that presentation because I'm also very interested in that whole era of the surrealist movement and how it
Yeah,
impacted society and allowed people to become more free associative thinkers and explore their dream space. So that's really interesting.
great. I hope to see you there.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I just have one more question for you. Can you recount a time if a dream left a profound emotional impact on you or someone that you worked with and how it changed your perspective?
It's not that long ago that I had a dream that was hilarious. I dreamed that I was stepping into the role of Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof. And I was waiting in the wings, and the person next to me was costumed as my wife. And, I had the script in my hand, and I turned to her and said, can I do this, with the book in my hand? Because I don't really know. I don't know the lines. I don't really know what to do as this character. And she said, oh, don't worry about it. This is an improv production. We're all improvising. Just go out there and enjoy it. And so that dream reiterated something that I've often felt, that when we have a dream that arouses a lot of anxiety, sometimes something inside us gives us a message about how to allay that anxiety, to remember the counterpart to what we're reminding ourselves of in the dream. In other words, I have a certain number of anxiety dreams, but sometimes within those anxiety dreams, I remind myself this anxiety is a projection of something that isn't really real. This anxiety is a response to something that I can actually work against in my waking life, as, for example, not letting a fear of doing something keep me from plunging into it, because we are all, after all, improvising all the time.
Yes, that's beautiful and very true. Very true. Well, I appreciate you coming in to check in, and I'm really excited for your multiple presentations and the dream group. And I will see you at Rolduck.
Thank you. It's very nice to meet you.
Yeah, you as well.